Most of the time, men think they're fine, but men often don't see the hidden issues or the hidden health issues that are lying underneath the surface. So one of the things we're going to dive in today is like, have you lost your mojo? And how do you get this back? This is a common thing that happens, especially when you're in the stage of life where we call it in Ayurveda, a pitta stage of life. So it's where you're working hard, you're trying to build the family, you're trying to take care of the family, you've got all the pressures from, home, maybe mortgages, bosses, different things that are happening in the workplace, as well as trying to keep yourself fit and healthy. You've got all these things going on. So men tend to have like challenges around, like women have around menopause. They have a hormonal challenges. Sometimes it's called andropause. So this is when the testosterone aspect starts to drop and starts to fall. And then it causes a whole heap of different issues like fatigue, erectile dysfunction, low energy, muscle loss, depression, irritability, a reduced libido, and challenges in like hair growth and skin quality, and also building the ability to build muscle. So we have clients that come to us and they'll come with men will come with like the fatigue and things like that. As soon as we, ask them certain questions, it actually comes out. The real challenge that they're having is around that erectile dysfunction, which is also the drop in testosterone, but also it's the impact to your metabolism and cholesterol. So high blood pressure, all of these things can cause a little bit of a challenge. So let me just take you to, so one of the main causes of this problem is actually your adrenal gland. And I'll just show you on like a recent client, which, I've taken out the name, of course, a recent client here who we did their adrenal profile test. So this is an adrenal profile test that we take. Now, when you go to the doctor, you'll go with all of these different symptoms, and the doctor will say, okay, let's test your testosterone. And we'll also test your cortisol. Cortisol done with the doctor is done by blood, and it's usually done at the time when you had it. So let's say it was, 7 or 8 in the morning, that's going to be the measure of cortisol. The beauty of measuring cortisol, the best way is by saliva or by urine. So we do like a urine Dutch profile test, which does all of your hormones. Men, estrogen is also important because estrogen is an important component as well as the testosterone aspect, but it measures all those things. So we're looking at the adrenal function here. And this is somebody who, works a lot. It's got a lot of in that phase of life, where, things are a little bit hectic, building business, raising family, a lot of all those different pressures. So you'll see that cortisol in the morning, this is like a graph, and a graph should be like, should pretty much be at the green point, pretty high here, then staying in the zone, then staying up here in the zone, and then evening should be good. So if we draw a straight line down the middle of this reference chart, that should pretty much line up. So we can see the morning cortisol is low. So that's definitely an impact on the recovery and the sleep that has happened. And also we find hydration is a really big thing for this as well. I've done my own testing around, even when I was flying, and I flew just recently to India, and I drank 2 liters of ginger water on the plane. And what that does is it stimulates your digestive fire. So it allows the air not to build up in your system. And that's what happens when you fly. And my recovery rate was like at 96%, which is so bizarre. When you're in a flight, you would think that it would crash, and that's why people get jet lag. But that being said, it could be like hydration, it could be the sleep, it could be irregularity of sleep, all those types of things, or working late. Being in bed before 10 is a super important part. You'll see midday is actually okay, but then afternoon tanks, and it goes really, really low. So there's like that afternoon crash, like 3 o'clock, where people are going for the coffee or the sugar or something like that. This is a typical adrenal fatigue case, which will affect testosterone. And this person has a testosterone issue. But if you don't fix the cause of the problem and you just give them, that blue pill to take just to help them with the sex activity, or give them testosterone medication, and not actually fix the issue, then you're actually just going to be band-aiding the process. In the evening, it's quite okay. But you'll see here the DHEA profile. DHEA is a hormone that helps us to regulate nervous system. and both of it, the DHEA is low as well. So we know that this person has the adrenal fatigue, but doesn't actually cope very well in the parasympathetic nervous system as well, which is calming that nervous system down. And the way that that works with, cortisol as well is being impacted. The next part I want to show you is because the other big symptoms of this is obviously, the sex drive and the ability to build tissue. So muscle tissue is a huge component here. In Ayurveda, there's 7 channels that we nourish over a 35-day process. This is why when we detoxify our clients, it's a 28-day plus 1 week. And we're cleansing constantly these channels out. So first of all, the rasa, which is the fluid toxicity in lymphatic system, like a lot of inflammation, and then the ability to build your red blood cells, which is your liver. And you need that ability to have like all of the nutrients going around your tissue. The blood delivers the nutrients to your tissue. Then the muscle tissue is the bulk. Now, when men reduce like in testosterone or have this hormonal imbalance, that muscle bulk really gets impacted. Now, building muscle, going to the gym and doing all those types of things really helps to support your testosterone aspect. If you don't have good muscle, then you're more likely to build the bad fat, and you'll see a lot of cortisol fat, which will be around the stomach. And men are typically known then for that like sort of beer gut, even though they don't drink beer because there's a lot of air and everything sort of stuck. Then it can affect your bone tissue, like long-term osteoporosis, osteopenia, all those types of things. Bone marrow is the nervous system, right? So the spinal cord, the nervous system, central nervous system, just how you think, your memory, all those types of things come. The last one, so you have to nourish all of those 7 tissues, so making sure they're nice and clean to have the reproductive tissue, which is for that testosterone. So you can see the importance of having clean channels, and a lot of us don't actually do anything to clean these channels. So you'll see in some of the things that we've posted, having the medicated water, constantly cleaning that lymphatic area. There's different things that we're also working. We keep an eye on your blood to make sure, like pathology wise, we're looking at any signs of cholesterol problems or blood pressure issues or diabetes, like the muscle impact, because if that goes down, you can also have, low testosterone can also be a metabolic dysfunction, and metabolic dysfunction can cause like type 2 diabetes because your body is so stressed, and then you're reaching for a lot of carbohydrate and the wrong types of foods, and then therefore your body has those types of issues. So, just a bit of understanding around, that whole concept, because, a lot of men don't go and get anything done or don't go to get things sorted. So if you are worried about, like maybe you have got these symptoms and you're worried about it, have a good read of the article. Women, if you're watching, have a look at it, because maybe your guy isn't watching this, and give him a chance to sort of understand it, because guys wait too late to get things sorted. And then by the time they're doing that, then we're dealing with multiple health challenges. So remember, get your mojo back. It is easy to do, but you just need to know the right processes and clean the channels in a particular order. All righty, take care.